And what is up, everybody? I am here in my room again, and I got my Undisputed Championship belt, the one that I won on eBay, and which means time for another championship belt rant. Championship belt rant. Basically, I called it the last time. I said, now that they unified WWE's belt, I gave you the history from that, during the Attitude Era, what they've been doing with the belts, and the fact that they unified the big gold with the new WWE belt, making it the WWE World Heavyweight title again. They decided to, make a new belt, which is stupid, considering they just made, the new belt like what, a year ago, year and a half ago, was it just before WrestleMania? And this new belt, basically, WWE has taken on a new logo, and it's no longer the scratches. It used to be, once the Attitude Era started, it was like they scratched out and etched the WWF out. And then, of course, when in 2001, when it became WWE, it was just the two W's and the red slash on the bottom, and they kept that for years, despite the fact that, since the Attitude Era has been over since, I want to say 2000. Well, 2001, once WCW was acquired. By then, once it became WWE, no more Attitude Era. Majority of the mainstays of the Attitude Era were gone. So for that to have happened, it sucked. But now it's WWE is going in a new direction. Granted, like I said, I boycotted pro wrestling. The only reason why I know this is because I'm friends with people that won't shut the hell up about it. Every once in a while, I'll look at the TNA, the WWE sites, like I said, to see who the champions are. And the majority, like I said, majority of the time, I can't even pronounce these dudes' names. Like when what the hell was his name? I don't know. Spanish dude that had the big gold for a while. John Cena beat him, and John Cena loses to frickin' Randy Orton. And so now the new WWE logo, it's the two W's. It's not etched anymore. It looks like the way it does for the WWE Network. It's basically that logo. It doesn't say champion on the bottom. It looks more, it's the exact same shape. They just changed the plate. They changed the, it still it still looks good. It still serves its purpose. Like The Rock said, it can't look like a toy, and it needs to look like it could have been worn by, past champions. And I could totally see, Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, Bruno Sammartino, wearing that belt. No problem. Brock Lesnar being champion, I want to say it's about time. He was given the belt back due to the fact that, since he left WWE, going into mixed martial arts, signed with UFC, being former UFC heavyweight champion, two-time undisputed heavyweight champion, and didn't lose the belt. Then of course his repeated bouts with diverticulitis, man. That's twice the man almost dies. If not for the fact that he was that when he fought Alistair Overeem, Overeem just kept kicking him in the gut. This is where his intestines split open on him two different times, and that's where you're gonna kick him. It's like, of course he's gonna lose the fight. If he would have, if he could have easily taken him down, tackled him, throwing a bit more strikes, and he hits a hell of a lot harder than Overeem does. but unfortunately, it wasn't enough, and for Overeem to be calling him out, I don't agree with that. Uh, to basically bring some legitimacy to the WWE title, you have, you know, the former MMA champion, the top of the food chain MMA champion, win the belt, of course. But they didn't do that for Ken Shamrock. And Ken Shamrock, I want to say, was far more entertaining because he wasn't a giant. He was the same size as everybody else. He was very muscular, but at the same time, he was vicious, and he was a lot more technical than Brock Lesnar is. Brock Lesnar relies a lot on his size and strength, and he's bigger than most of the people there. With the exception of Undertaker, Kane, and Big Show. And now, everybody's been saying, Bobby Lashley is was the Black Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar was out. Bobby Lashley steps in. USA title, ECW heavyweight title. Okay, great. It should have been perfect for him to step up. But like I said, ECW heavyweight title was worthless. It was pretty much useless. Because they never, they brought back ECW, but didn't really try bringing it back. They didn't bring in the television title. They didn't bring in tag team titles. Nothing. When when they let him go, and they they had no problem. They had absolutely no problem whatsoever just dropping him. They stripped him of the belt. They made him lose to John Cena, which was bogus because in real life that wouldn't have happened. And then even Bobby Lashley makes the move into mixed martial arts. At the same time as Brock Lesnar. Difference being, Dana White, he saw no. I'm shocked. He saw absolutely no skill in Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley has more fights under his belt. I'm talking about real professional fights under his belt than Brock Lesnar did, and he's some rinky-dink promotion, Shark Fight heavyweight champion. Dumb name for a show, but he's their heavyweight champion, and he only had 2 losses. One which was bogus, because basically he was getting hit. It was the second round. It was like a minute left in the round. The referee makes him stand up early, but he's a little gassed. He shoots in, grabs the dude's ankle. Dude starts pounding him in the back of the head. And then when the bell's over, they're like, "Oh, Bobby Lashley can't get back up, so okay, he's knocked out." Like, dude, you were hitting him in the back of the head repeatedly. And now, like I said, he won the Shark Fight title. He beat tough Wes Sims. Wes Sims used to fight in UFC. He was in Ultimate Fighter Season 10, the heavyweights, and Bobby Lashley beat him no problem. Then one of his last fights was against the Colossus James Thompson. James Thompson's a straight brawler, no skill whatsoever. But James Thompson is beating some tough dudes. A legend like Don Fry, called him out and beat the snot out of him. And he gave Bobby Lashley a run for his money, even though it wasn't very technical. Bobby could not do enough to actually beat him. And that wasn't for the Shark Fight promotion. Shark Fight, Shark Fight doesn't even know when the hell their next show is. I don't even know if they're still in business. Now, before that time, Bobby made the move to TNA, fight Samoa Joe, beat Samoa Joe, gets let go. Now he's in back in TNA. He's their heavyweight champion now. And then on top of that, because TNA is shown on Spike, and which is owned by Viacom, and Viacom owns Bellator. Now all of a sudden Bobby Lashley's getting a fight in Bellator. Uh, I'm still trying to, why is it? Why is it that we can't, that fans can't get the fight that they want? Uh, Lashley versus Lesnar. It's the only one that's gonna make any real sense. Then, on top of that, back to pro wrestling, Samoa Joe. My favorite, to this day, my favorite wrestler is still Chris Benoit. His technique, his ferocity is unmatched. I don't care who the hell is on the top of the stack right now. Whoever they say, when it comes to who was the most believable showman there, Chris Benoit, no ifs, ands, or buts. Close second is Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe, I want to say, is a Grand Slam X Division champion because he's had every incarnation of that belt. It's ridiculous. He had the original version, the second uh, like how many? Yeah, the original. All three versions of the belt, while the TNA heavyweight title keeps eluding him. He beat Kurt Angle for it, which for the first, like, I don't know, maybe like 5 minutes of that fight, it looked like a real fight. It didn't look like a choreographed pro wrestling fight, and I think that's more or less what they were trying to go for. It looked like that they were actually in a real fight. And for his title reign to be as short as it was, it sucked. The fact that they never gave him another one, considering even during that time they had him beating everybody left and right, and he never gets another title shot. Um, like how many times he had beaten Magnus, uh, Grand Slam champion. He held the tag team titles by himself. Okay, he was X Division and tag team champions, all by himself. First person to ever do that, and he he's never gotten the belt. He's never gotten the belt again. When he first got the belt, it's like, the man's deserved it. Now they're giving it to Bobby Lashley, and after being released from TNA and brought back into TNA, it's a lot of politics, which further feeds the reason as to why I boycott pro wrestling. Like like a majority, I understood why guys like Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy never got the belts for as long as they did, and then when they finally did, it's like, okay, good for them. They deserved it. Matt Hardy getting the ECW belt, Jeff getting both the the WWE and the World Heavyweight title. They deserved it, but I understood why. Their title reigns weren't for very long, and two, why the hell it took so long for them to win the belts. Chris Benoit, never, to win all the other belts except for the ECW belt while he was in ECW, to win, tag team and USA titles and the WCW title, only to come to WWE and win, everything. And yeah, he finally got the world heavyweight title. Okay, great. Man, you absolutely deserved it. But then they never gave it back to him. Brought back the USA title, made him the USA champion a bunch of times. Maybe tag team champion a couple times. But and it sucks that he died the way he did, because he was supposed to be the new ECW champion. Just for the sake of him having finally gotten the championship belt that had always eluded him. Because I remember the way they had that written was, the new breed kept beating the ECW originals, and when CM Punk decided he would side with the originals, the new breed kept beating him anyway. lo and behold, Chris Benoit gets thrown into the roster and starts tearing the new breed, new buttholes. It was exciting. It was exciting to see, and then of course that unfortunate weekend, which happened to be on my birthday, which just adds more tragedy to it. I it's you see what these people are doing, and it's all for the money. It's an industry of death, man. That's exactly what it is. He's got, like I said, these guys are constantly uh, hurting themselves. They're literally killing themselves slowly but surely. I mean, it's because of what was going on with WWE before he joined UFC. That's why he got. It was why Brock Lesnar got sick. Uh, from what I understand, that's that was a side effect of steroid use. Steroids, granted, like it doesn't do like 75% of the stuff that it says it'll kill you for, but at the same time, it it builds more muscle than your heart can handle. Then on top of that, it fills your um uh, uh arteries with plaque, which can eventually cause a heart attack. It won't actually give you a heart attack right away or anything like that, but you know the stuff that happens, and then of course your body not designed to, it doesn't have enough blood to flow into all this new muscle that you're giving it. uh, you know something's got to give. And this new belt that's been given to them, all right, fine, whatever. But I just think it's dumb that you just made a brand new belt. You just made a brand new belt, and here it is. You're changing it again. And like I said, it's because they freaking once they unified the tag team titles with the freaking, oh man, those god awful pennies. Freaking penny belts, man. The dumbest looking championship belts I've ever seen in my life. Uh, got rid of the cruiserweight division, while TNA's X division is still running strong. Uh, the stupid butterfly for for the Divas title. All right, fine, whatever. Um, you were better off with the women's title, but just dumb. Then, of course, unifying both belts. Now you can only have one champion, which means there's a lot more guys that are gonna keep getting passed up. you know, like I said, at least with the, Daniel Bryan would have nobody would know who the hell Daniel Bryan is if not for the fact that he won the heavyweight title. He would never, nobody would even consider him to be WWE champion if not for the fact that he had won the world heavyweight title. It gave other, more people the opportunity to be champion, and now it's like nah, sorry, we're not giving everybody equal rights now. It's only who we deem as favorites. I mean, it's always politics. I mean, that's what happened with Ken Shamrock. He said no too many times to the things that they proposed to him. Both things that he didn't agree with, because it's like, listen, I teach my kids not to hit girls, and they're not 100% aware of the fact that wrestling is fake. Not to mention, you have this woman playing as my sister. She's not really my sister, and then you're gonna play like the reason why I'm so overprotective is because I'm in love with her. Meanwhile, kids in my neighborhood don't necessarily know that wrestling is fake, and then what's this gonna do to my kids and stuff like that. They think that I'm leaving their mom or something like that. And needless to say, his contract didn't last very long after that, and that's gonna continue to happen now. Anyway, I am done talking. You guys have a good night.